Hello, and welcome to my report about the website for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's libraries. I'm Jason Wright, and in addition to taking part in this graduate program, I'm also the communications manager for the Georgia Tech Library, so websites are right up my alley. This is an academic library system serving the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a private polytechnic institute founded in 1861 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The MIT libraries are home to a more than 5 million volume collection that includes more than 3 million volumes of print material, 17,000 journal and other serial subscriptions, 478 online databases, more than 55,000 electronic journal titles licensed for access, and more than 2.8 million items in collections of microforms, maps, images, musical scores, sound recordings, and videotapes. The library was established in 1862 with a gift of just 7 volumes. It has since grown to a 5-location system, including the Hayden Library, which focuses on the science and humanities, the Barker Engineering Library, the Lewis Music Library, the Dewey Library, which focuses on social sciences and management, and the Roch Library, which focuses on architecture and planning. There are also 2 important special projects that tie into the library's mission of moving towards a digital-first organization, which I'll go over in a bit. These include the Library Storage Annex, where non-circulating volumes are kept for posterity, and DSpace, a digital repository of MIT's research, including peer-reviewed articles, technical reports, working papers, theses, and more. This site is an obvious product of the system's mission and recently updated vision statement spelled out on this slide. This is a wall of text, but the main point I want to bring to this presentation includes the library transforming into a digital-first organization. The statements concerning open scholarship, especially equity and inclusion, also play important roles in the site's design ethos. I'll also argue that the statement of bold leadership also influences the site to a great degree, to the point of possibly hindering its ultimate usefulness. Okay. So let's get into it. As best explained by the findings of Chow, Bridges, and Commander in their 2014 study of website design and usability for academic and public libraries, this site should be, and ultimately is, built for use. This is reflected in the super search bar located on the main and catalog pages and the way the site is organized by addressing the most common questions immediately through placement. This super search placement is also recommended by Gambrell in her 2015 article, 7 Best Practices for Creating a User-Friendly Library Website. A quick note that I'll revisit later on. The site is meant to be used in slightly different ways depending on the device used to access the site. Above all, though, there are 3 main elements, regardless of how the site is accessed, that help set it apart from a number of other library sites. First is how simple and consistent the site is, regardless of how you use it. Second, the lack of time and data eaters like photo and video mean that the site is quick to load regardless of the quality of your internet connection. Lastly, main navigation bars and consistent branding are used across both MIT-owned pages like the catalog, location, and time pages, and a vendor product like LibGuide. This means that regardless of how you get to the information on the site, and user behavior studies from the Pew Research Center's Internet and American Life project in conjunction with the College Board and the National Writing Project indicates that it will almost always be through a search engine like Google, the experience is consistent. Please note that the citation for that incredibly long article title is on the pros and cons page because it just would not fit on any of the others. One last important point about the site. The use of black, white, and shades of gray, meaning it's high contrast enough for use across a spectrum of user visibility requirements. To put it in simple terms, this site is built for anyone to use it at any time with any device and maintain the reputation one expects from MIT. I did want to point out that the site is, on the whole, responsive, as recommended by Qualoff and Ridha in their comprehensive analysis of academic library websites. Regardless of the device used, it gives more or less the same experience. However, the mobile site does strip a number of pages out of the process initially. They still exist, but navigation can be difficult until you get used to the change. In this way, it mimics an app over a mobilized site, and I suspect this decision is tied to their research into user behavior. So overall, here's what I think works about the site. First, it's well organized and the content areas make sense. You want to find materials, you want to access the expertise of faculty, you want to visit physical locations to study and or find materials that can't be replicated electronically, they've got you. Above all, the site is built to give you those options. Additionally, the site does a good job of using simple, precise language and high contrast visuals to help users complete their objectives quickly and without much guidance. That said, I do have a couple problems with the site. I don't exactly understand the point of a modified or simplified mobile hybrid site. I expect the site to function exactly the same regardless of device. I mean, that's the point of responsive design. I do find it strange the decision was made to strip some of the functionality out of the site. I will also say that the function over form design ethos seems to strip away some of the important information. For instance, it was difficult finding history about the library. Annual reports do not exist past 2016. And I was able to find recent information on Missing in Vision, but it wasn't entirely bolstered by a lot of context information I found. And honestly, as a designer, I found the choices made to be restrictive to the point of being an impediment to the experience. I'm struck by the fact that MIT has incredibly beautiful physical locations to inspire young minds. However, the website looks like an instruction manual. And if you're going to be a digital-first organization, you're going to want to invest time and effort into the digital equivalent of a beautiful building. Otherwise, why don't you just keep everything in a big, hollow concrete block? Well, that's it for me. And I thank you for your time and appreciate your attention. Have a great day.